this marks your second Fire series, with Rescue Me being the first. What made you want to join this project, and makes the shows different from each other?
I wanted to join this show from the moment I read the pilot. It was one of the best pilots I ever read, and I've read a script probably every day for 25 years. I didn't see the ending coming, and some of the ending was who I am to this protagonist, to this character that was going to change the world. Um, so that was the reason I wanted to be there. Rescue Me is about structure fires, which is what almost every other show on TV is. It's about running into the burning building when everybody else is running out, where Fire Country is outside. It's sort of like the earth and what we're doing to it and everything to do with climate change and how that's affecting anything from mudslides to chemical plants to losing all of our trees. So it's got this sort of earthy, almost country feeling to it. There's a lot of country music in it. Our star and creator, Max Theriot, is a huge country music fan, and it's in every ounce of it.
Yeah. And it's kind of scary too to think about the things we're seeing on shows like this happening, especially in states like California where we have fire disasters every year. It's like we kind of can count on it here.
Yeah. When I was driving up to shoot the pilot, I have three kids, so we drove from Los Angeles to Vancouver, and I was going to show them the coast and all the states, and Yosemite was on fire. And it was the first time I'd ever seen Cal Fire trucks because I live in a city, so I was seeing urban LAFD. So we were racing up to go shoot this fictional show, and every day there were more and more Cal Fire trucks heading into Yosemite. And I don't even remember the number of how much it burned. I was like, we're really in trouble. Like, we're going to lose all of our beautiful resources if we don't bring a light to that. So the hope is TV brings more information to people than a textbook, that hopefully we could shine a light on it.
Yeah, definitely. You also recently made headlines talking about age gap romances. And in Fire Country, we see that your love interest, the two of you have a much closer gap in age. Why do you think age gap romances are hurting the industries, particularly actresses and women?
I was writing the article originally for EW to talk about um, this idea that it's hurting women, it's hurting actresses right when they're primed to do the best work of their career. And they're usually done with their baby making between their 40s and their 50s, so they can fully concentrate on work. But I've also found that it really hurts the shows. Like, I've been the female lead or the love interest of the male lead on 10 television series, and the two most successful, my co-star was within 5 years of me. I was a little worried from all of the actresses that I spoke to. I mean, bar none, everybody had the same experience of having a co-star that was like the age of their father at some point. And it's not that it's just there's a potential for sexual harassment. You're not peers, so you can't really like fight for your character in the same way. You can't speak up in the same way. When I'm paired again with someone who's 20 years older than me and is like a national icon, I don't really have the room to say, I don't think this is feeling authentic. Like, could we try it again? Like, it takes so much courage to stand up to fight for your own space at work at any age. I didn't really have those skills till my 40s. I cannot do it with someone who outranks me in every way, that is paid more, that is wanted more, that has higher status. So I was really trying to say, like, I think this is just an old trope that we forgot to update, but it's really hurting the business end of the deal. Talking about the menstruation point,
Mhm.
after my conversation with Marcia Gay Harden, she was saying all of the characters she plays are always single. And I had this moment of panic, like, is this really older than even, Sabrina, when Audrey Hepburn was 23 and Humphrey Bogart was 55 and they were playing love interest? Is this like some biblical idea that women have to be fertile to be attractive? I mean, I could show you 40 actresses my
Yeah.
age who are really enlivened, like they're really hitting their stride. So I don't think it's even a true idea of sexuality.
Yeah, I agree. And then when it's flipped the other way, then the
Uh,
woman is always seen as like the cougar, and what is she doing? She's robbing the cradle, and it's
yes.
such a double standard.
Yeah, it's a sexualized thing if the
Hmm.
woman has power. And if the man has power, it's a standard.
Yeah,
And I think we should love whoever we want to love in real life. But at work, there's value to having similar statuses and experience.
because I think also for the audience to relate to it, they're
There,
not going for someone that's most likely not going for someone 25 years older than them. Like it's just not what you're going to see every day on the street.
yeah, all of the notes and the letters that I were getting was we just laugh at how Hollywood this is. Like no
Yeah,
one I know has a sugar daddy.
yeah, it's not common at
No,
all.
and we know in Hollywood it's not always working out well anyway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like for states that are sort of affected more by divorce, where
Mhm.
people come into their own agency or like, wait a minute, maybe I don't want to listen to this person. It's a terrible reflection all the way around.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking on the lines of love, this is more of a personal question for me, but as a kid, I listened to Love Line, and you were one of the co-hosts. I probably shouldn't have been listening to it when I was, but yeah, I had like a little one of those like little handheld radio things. And I had my headphones and I listened at night. But what's one of the craziest stories you heard from a caller?
Oh my God, this is such a funny question. Okay, first of all, I think it was good that you were listening because at the time I was a little like, is this okay or is this not? And we sort of realized that like 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds,
Mhm.
15-year-olds, going to get information from other 13-year-olds
Yeah.
and 14-year-olds. So if we could throw a doctor in there and then a comedian who was like the hamburger you stick the medicine in, like we were putting out better information. There was a kid who called, and I mean, this is just layers of depravity. His girlfriend went away to college. He went to visit the girlfriend's family. He got together with her mother on top of a chicken coop in the backyard and had a ring around his penis and wanted to know what it was.
Oh, wow. Wow.
25 years later, and I remember this call, and I just looked at Dr. Drew like, do you actually know what that is? Like, what? I don't remember the solve. I
Yeah.
just remember the scenario of like, uh, yeah, it was bad on so many levels. They weren't usually that bad, but whew, that was a good one.